$9.5 million is being provided in extra funding to ensure good health of pregnant women and children under 5 in Nigeria's northeast region. The money will be disbursed through the U.S. Agency for International Development to the UN World Food Programme to ensure more than 175,000 mothers and children under the age of 5 do not suffer from malnutrition during this year's lean season. The grant from the USAID, or USAID's Health, Population and Nutrition Office, augments ongoing support for the humanitarian assistance in Nigeria by its Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance and Food for Peace, and seeks to bridge a funding shortfall announced by the WFP, that's the World Food Programme, late last month. The grant will fund a blanket supplementary feeding program to protect the nutrition status of children aged 6 months to 5 years and lactating women in IDPs and host communities of Borno State through the provision of specialized nutritious foods. The Nigerian Air Force says it will not allow another attack on the Air Force base in Maiduguri by Boko Haram insurgents. This follows reports that the terrorists are planning to strike again. Now, the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has put his officers and men under alert in Maiduguri.
Never again will the Air Force allow Boko Haram insurgents to assault a military base anywhere in the country. That seems to be what the Chief of Air Staff is saying as he addresses senior officers at the opening ceremony of a retreat for the Air Force in Kaduna. He points out that more security measures have been put in place to avert such attacks, in addition to the training of 300 regiment personnel by the British Military Assistance Team, aimed at producing more highly skilled personnel that can protect all NAF bases in Nigeria.
We have had an attack on one of our bases, and the current intelligence reports also suggest that these same elements might be attacking our bases. It is not inconceivable to expect our adversaries to target our bases. We are faced with a number of security challenges ranging from terrorism to militancy, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and economic sabotage. On assumption of all this, and with the need to develop a robust base defense concept, in view of the character of the threats we face today, was one of the major priorities that I decided to look at.
The Chief of Air Staff then commissions the training base, which is expected to offer critical knowledge in the areas of fighting insurgency and obtaining relevant logistics information for officers and men of the force.
We're still talking security. Any time from now, the Nigeria Police will begin to employ 30,000 new recruits annually as soon as the police headquarters gives an approval for the exercise. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the North Central, Shuaib Gambo, announced this during a visit to the command in Ilorin, Kwara State. In Imo State, Southeast Nigeria, the DIG in charge of the region believes policing will be more efficient with a strategic partnership with members of the public. In Kogi and in Ondo states, the police commands have paraded suspects arrested for various crimes.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Shuaib Gambo, is visiting the Kwara State Command to listen to complaints of police officers and their needs, in line with the Inspector General's directive to take stock of what's lacking at various commands across the country. Olushola More is the Kwara State Commissioner of Police. He enumerates the challenges faced by his men.
While we released 639, only 136 reported. We are short of 616.
DIG Gambo is in charge of police commands in north central Nigeria. He explains that the force is aware of the manpower shortage with no recruitments in the last 6 years. The good news is that the Nigerian police force is expecting a nod from the presidency to employ 30,000 policemen yearly to correct the situation.
For about 5-6 years, we haven't gone on recruitment. People are retiring, people are dying, but no replacement. So what happens? Instead of you working 8 hours, you are working 12 hours.
This will hopefully help improve the safety of residents.
As a state, we will continue in our own little way to support the police force in logistics and ensuring that they are allowed to play their roles in protecting lives and properties.
The recruitment will swell commands across the country, giving the opportunity for more men to be deployed to nab criminals such as the ones recently paraded in Kogi State for kidnapping, armed robbery, vandalism, possession of arms and illegal substances.
With all this collaborative effort, partnering with sister agencies, Kogi Indigi is coming to give us support in terms of information, and then receiving this support from the government and the Israeli police. There is no doubt Kogi State is safe and will continue to be safe.
It was also the end of the road for one of the suspected abductors of a traditional ruler in Ondo State, as he was paraded alongside 4 others. Some of the proceeds paid in ransom for the release of the king was recovered.
Sometime in April, a traditional ruler was kidnapped in this state and was only released after some amount of ransom was paid to the kidnappers. I'm glad to inform you that one of those kidnappers, one Usman Momodu, has been arrested. Parts of the proceeds of the crime recovered from him, the currencies confirmed by the bank from where that money was withdrawn and paid to them.
In southeast Nigeria, Deputy Inspector General of Police Valentine Tomchukwu is on a maiden visit to Imo State, where he told members of the public that the Nigerian police force has found it imperative to engage the people to identify their security challenges and look for appropriate solutions.
Identify gaps, professional gaps that are existing, fill them, build on the existing successes being recorded by the state commands and the zonal commands for a more professionally efficient and effective policing service across the state.
The similarity in all these interactions is that the message from the Nigerian police is the importance of continued collaboration with members of the public to keep communities across the country safer.